So, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, again, continue to talk about SGI10. So, SGI10 is going to be Saturday, May the 7th. It's going to be at the usual place, Maryhill Community Halls in Glasgow. Again, the venue, I mean, anybody that's ever been at an SGI before, the venue is absolutely awesome venue. So, it's the old theatre-style venue, tiered seats. This one's going to be a little bit special. We're going to have pay-per-view. There's going to be walkout music and stuff like that as well. So promises to be a fantastic night. The card, obviously, James McIntyre and the guys at SGI have already released the card already. And it's listen, it automatically looks like a fantastic card there. 3 different parts. And yeah, it's going to be an unbelievable night of grappling that we're going to see, as usual, at SGI 10. So tickets, you can get your tickets online, go on the Scottish Grappling page. It'll take you through their booking system. Tickets are obviously up online now, so they're ready to buy. As I mentioned, pay-per-view on this as well, so there will be details announced about the pay-per-view in due course, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that. So my next guest is going to be on the show that night, so Dylan Barr of Gracie Barra Dundee. So Dundee, my hometown. So obviously I was a Dundee boy, moved to Glasgow a number of years ago, so absolutely love Dundee, got family there and so on. So Dylan's going to be up against Max Freyne. Again, 2 awesome grapplers. Obviously I know a lot about Dylan because obviously coach Darren Clark, Valentine Duke, obviously good friends of mine, so I do get updates and stuff like that about everybody in the gym. So listen, Dylan, absolute pleasure, buddy, to have you on.
Nice to speak to you, mate.
Definitely. In the gym as well. So anybody doesn't know, he's just finished a session in the gym. So obviously a good session. There's a lot of really good guys coming out of Gracie Barra Dundee as well, Dylan.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys are really progressing now, especially a lot of our newer guys, the GB1s, seeing them progress up quickly through the ranks, becoming a harder and harder role anytime you have a spar with them. It's great. It's only going to make the whole team better in the long run.
Yeah. And the white belts as well, and we were talking offline before we came on air, we'll say the white belts at the moment are absolute animals, absolute killers that are in Scotland at the moment, white belts.
Oh, for sure. There's some in here that are killers for sure.
But they're terrifying. But do you know what it makes? As you said, it makes you better. It makes anybody they roll with, not just them better, but obviously it progresses the whole team and it gets everybody to a level to go out to comps and do what they need to do.
Yeah, that's exactly it, mate. Totally agree.
Yeah. What about you then, training-wise? So how's everything going now that we're officially allowed to train, Dylan? How's everything going for you?
Everything is fantastic now. No, it's really good to get back into like a proper routine. Throughout the whole lockdown stuff and that, I was totally lost without having the structured training and stuff like that. And but now back into the full swing of it, it's great. I'm able to train 4 or 5 times a week, consistently. It's great. And like that, with the gym in Dundee, it's open here till 9, 10 o'clock at night, pretty much most nights. So you can come in here and get as much rounds in as you want, as much time on the mat, which is great.
I can imagine Valentine's trying to kick everybody out the door at 10 o'clock at night.
He just leaves us to lock up, mate. He's past that stage now.
I used to love it. I mean, obviously, I started off, my journey in GB Glasgow. I was there for a few years, so obviously that's how I got to know, obviously, Dan, Valentine and stuff like that. So, and it was always great. I mean, GB was always one of these ones where, again, a lot of the guys when they trained, it was you had to forcibly remove them from the gym to get them out. So it was always great.
Like that.
Yeah,
it's still like that.
Yeah. And I remember coming up. I think I've been up a couple of times. I came up for the Fionn Davies seminar. Obviously, I think it was 2019. I think it was.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. Now I wasn't at that one, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, but it's an awesome gym, awesome setup. Really, really nice people as well. I said Darren Clark, Valentine Duke, and so on. So, definitely, you're in good hands, Dylan.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. Like, I don't want to keep bigging up Valentine, because I know Dan will be like, why are you talking about Valentine? Talk about me. Talk about Darren Clark. So, but no.
You're stroking his ego. He's smiling over there in the corner.
Listen, he is an awesome guy, mate. He is an awesome guy. So, and then what about you then? So SGI, massive event then. So
super excited, mate. It actually came around like pretty out of the blue for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just after that, the Scottish Open there at the Ravenscraig.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Darren and just basically saying, look, I'm really wanting to do submission only. Like, I want to do a sub only at this point stuff. It doesn't really suit my jiu-jitsu. I'm very offensive based with the jiu-jitsu. I don't mind giving up a slightly bad position to sacrifice something. It's just my style, and it doesn't play well to the whole points game. So I was saying to him, look, no gi. Now that I'm blue belt now, I'm wanting to get on a submission only sort of style fight. And then 2 days after the Scottish Open, I get a message on Instagram, and it was, Dylan, we've got you a matchup, under 75, no gi. And it was as simple as that, mate. I didn't know a name, and I just said, yeah, perfect, tell them I'll take it. Really, really excited to be on the show. I've watched a lot of the previous shows, obviously training out of GB Dundee. I've used to train with Patrick, who's been on SGI a good couple of times, and along with other people as well. But super excited to get the chance to show my skills.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned there about not worrying about giving up positions. I mean, we saw that in the UFC London just a few weeks ago. Obviously, Paul Craig took a couple of punches to the face just to get the triangle. So he wasn't.
As soon as that triangle was thrown up, though, it was night, was it?
It was over. But he didn't worry about giving up position. Do you know what I mean? He was willing to take a couple of punches to get the position to then get the triangle, which
it just comes with confidence. I think the confidence is that high that he knows that all it takes is one tiny mistake from his opponent, and it's capitalized on like that. Once he locks up the triangle, it's done. You've seen it. He never even adjusted it after he locked it up. He fell to the side with it, and the squeeze was constant. There was no pulling the leg in to make it tighter, no yanking on the head, just pure technique.
Oh yeah, it was awesome to see. Yeah, and so we've seen a lot of that because obviously these submission only style tournaments or competitions and stuff like that, obviously they're coming up more and more often now. You've still got obviously the standard, your IBJJFs and stuff like that. You've still got these comps and local comps and so on, but there's a lot of submission only comps popping up all over the place now, and some massive comps. Obviously, we talked about SGI being the biggest in Scotland, Grapple Fest, Grapple Kings in Ireland, Chaos over in Northern Ireland, Polaris and so on. So, and that's just to name but a small few. So there's obviously.
I think it's probably the most viewer friendly form of jiu-jitsu, isn't it? Like it's the most exciting format that you could put it in and make someone who doesn't necessarily understand jiu-jitsu, but he'd be able to enjoy it, a fast-paced, submission-only, no-gi bout, or even gi bouts that are submission-only and stuff as well. It kind of forces the action a bit more, and I personally think it's a lot more exciting to watch.
I used to love it. I used to go, obviously, when I go to IBJJF comps, and I'd be speaking to people I know, and they'd be like, oh, this is my partner. My partner's come to watch it. And I'd be like, oh, have you been before? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you're going to be bored shitless, man. Sitting watching 8 hours of IBJJF gi stuff. I had usually when I see them later on, I'm like,
is grip fighting.
Yeah. And usually when I see them later on, I'm like, how did you enjoy that? And I'm like, yeah, it was good. I'm like, don't lie, man. Do you know what I mean? That was because we know. I mean, we go to a BJJ, or not a BJJ, sorry, an IBJJF comp or local comps and stuff like that. And in the gi, you'll maybe see there might be 100 fights on, and out the 100 fights, there maybe be 5 or 6 absolute top draw fights, and the other fights are. Do you know what I mean? They're good fights, don't get me wrong. Obviously, anybody that knows jiu-jitsu knows what's going on. But you're only going to have a handful of fucking highlight reel matches.
Yeah, definitely.
You got a submission only, and almost every single match on a submission only is a highlight reel match. So quicker, it's faster. It doesn't suit old guys like me, mate. I love the gi. I love to just hold on and cuddle people.
Play the old man's game.
playing it old man's game, mate. Do you know what I mean? So slow it right down. As I said, I love a hug, mate. I'm a hugger, mate. I love it. So, but yeah, as I said, more and more are popping up. So, and as you said, it's exciting to watch.
Yeah, definitely my favourite form of jiu-jitsu to sit and watch.
You've not hung the gi up though. You've still got the gi.
Oh no. Still training in the gi at least twice a week.
Nice one. I like it. I like it. So it's not gone. It's just
no, definitely not.
Nice. I like it. And then what about you then? So obviously plans for the year. So obviously SGI10 going to be one of your big kind of focuses for the year.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing 2022 onwards?
Honestly, after SGI, probably just compete as often as I can for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Obviously, competitions and stuff like that, they cost a lot of money.
Yes.
So just entering into the ones that I can. And then hopefully next year, at the start of next year, there's going to be a big group of boys from Gracie Barra Dundee, hopefully going to the Europeans.
Nice.
For the gi. So that's the big plan for next year. But this year it's pretty much just compete as often as you can.
Yeah.
With everything being back open now, and just take advantage of competitions being back up and running again.
The Europeans is awesome. I know they did obviously the Europeans this year, but it wasn't. So I mean, normally Scotland go out and we usually take a lot of people over. A lot of people go over. And
I think a lot of people were still scared about like the flight situation and not wanting to travel. And but I think hopefully, fingers crossed, by next year we'll be safe to definitely book it.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. And because I know that I talked about going over, but then obviously we had the big kind of outbreak over Christmas and stuff like that, Christmas and New Year, and then there was a possibility they were talking about we weren't going to be able to fly over. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to book anything, and it turned out it was okay. But I'd say a few people went over. Obviously got a few medals, come back with a couple of medals for Scotland. So, but next year, as you said, next year.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot more people because hopefully we'll understand COVID a little bit more. I know it's been 2 years, but hopefully we understand that a little bit more, traveling and stuff like that. So, and then final thing for you then. So you've obviously been in the game for a little while. Obviously you'll have trained with a good few people. So, but anybody you want to shout out to? So any kind of friends, family members, teammates, anything like that, Dylan?
To be honest, just everybody who's been a part of my journey for the past few years, throughout lockdown, everything like this. The whole team at Gracie Barra Dundee have been amazing through everything. Even with when we went into lockdown the first time, like from setting up people with mats, like Darren actually went off and delivered mats to people who were needing them to roll, grappling dummies, everything, just the whole community, mate. But yeah, special thanks to obviously my training partners and regular drilling partners at Gracie Barra Dundee, because they're putting in a lot of time just now.
Definitely. And a big shout out to Valentine Duke, kicking about in the background there.
Go on then.
Oh, there he is. There's the Mac. So definitely a big shout out to Big Val over there in the corner. So
stealing my interview, is he?
So there we go, guys. We're going to have Dylan Barr, Gracie Barra Dundee up against Max Freyne. That's going to be Saturday, 7th of April. SGI10 is going to be Maryhill Community Halls. Now, again, tickets available through Scottish Grappling page, so make sure you get your tickets early. Pay-per-view is going to be available. Obviously, it'll be announced, as soon as I think they've wrapped everything up. But there is going to be a pay-per-view at this one. It's absolutely buzzing for the pay-per-view. As I say, the SGI has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time they put an event on. So now we've hit the 10th one. They're going to have pay-per-view, so it's just going to take SGI. And obviously the grapplers that are going to be on the show as well is going to obviously take them to a whole new level. More of an audience are going to be able to watch it, which is brilliant for everybody involved. So, so Dylan, listen, absolute pleasure to speak to you, buddy. As I'm looking forward. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you next month. So it's going to be an awesome one, you and Max Freyne. So, but listen, I hope you train safe for the rest of the month, all right? Stay away from COVID, buddy, all right? So, but listen, enjoy the rest of your time, buddy, all right?
Yeah, you too. It was good speaking to you, mate.
You too, brother. Take it easy.
Catch you later.